Oh, hey there, I was just eating a burrito. Why don't you start at that end? I'll keep going at this end and we'll meet in the middle. But listen, $50. That's a lot of money, man, unless you're a robber baron, like in the 1890s. These guys were making railroads, they were making steel, just robbing the working class blind. To them, $50 is nothing. Good thing all those dudes died out, we don't have them anymore. And we fixed America. Oh wait, never mind. Anyways, I was bored, and I made a $50 polymorph deck. Let's check it out. Don't worry, I'm going to explain what polymorph means. You don't have to go out and find your mother's dictionary, alright? But before we get into all that, take a moment to subscribe to the channel, my friends. I have a Discord, I have a Patreon, I got memberships below. These dudes, and ladies, and possibly some spider demons, they keep this channel independent, and I appreciate them. I don't talk to any advertisers, alright? I say their names in the night as I awaken in a cold sweat, worried about Saruman coming to take my land. Alright, check this guy out. It's going to be our commander today, Saruman the White Hand. 1 blue, black, and a red. Legendary creature, Avatar Wizard. It's a 2/5. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, amass Orcs X, where X is that spell's mana value. So basically what you're doing is you're making an army token and putting X +1/+1 counters on that army. It's also an orc. If you don't control an army, create a 0/0 black orc army creature token first. Goblins and orcs you control have Ward 2. Cheapest version of this card is about 50 cents. Say what you want about Universes Beyond. This guy looks like the movie version, alright? He's just a bad old white-haired wizard, and he's got the juice. Cheapest version of this guy is 50 cents. It's a powerhouse, man, but ignore the orcs and goblins thing. We like this guy because he brings his own token. So basically cast anything, except for a creature, make a token, or embiggen the token you already have. It's great, man. What a power this guy has over his orc buddies. He's the mean girl that decides what all the orcs do, right? Where they go, what they eat. And the little orcs love him for that. They don't want to think about stuff. You know, let this guy do all the thinking. So we reliably make tokens, and ergo, the polymorph. Polymorph is named after this card, and more broadly, this mechanic. Look at this guy just turn into a damn hairless rabbit. Polymorph is 3 and a blue for a sorcery. Destroy target creature. It can't be regenerated. Its controller reveals cards from the top of their library until they reveal a creature card. The player puts that card onto the battlefield and shuffles all other cards revealed this way into their library. It's a fun little mechanic, right? Almost like Chaos Warp. The idea is only to have big, impactful creatures in your deck to polymorph into. They can be whatever you want. Big flyers, instant sorcery payoffs, stack pieces like Jinska Taxius out there. I find the sweet spot is 6 or 7 of these guys, and we have some ways to get them back into the library in case they get stuck in the hand. Stuff like Brainstorm, Brain Surge, Brainstone. Now thankfully there are about 9 of these types of cards, which is kind of mathematically where we want to be, and I'm not going to read them all to you. Transmogrify, Reality Scramble are 4 mana, more or less the same thing. There are some different flavors here too. Chaos Mutation doubles as removal. 3 blue and a red for an instant, exile any number of target creatures controlled by different players. For each creature exiled this way, its controller reveals cards from the top of their library until they reveal a creature card. Put that card onto the battlefield, then put the rest in the bottom in a random order. Pretty cool card. Synthetic Destiny, Mass Polymorph, they hit all your creatures. That may mean too many of them, you know, so you may have to sandbag those. They need a right time to be out there. I will say Synthetic Destiny is great if you see a board wipe coming. 6 mana instant. Exile all creatures you control at the beginning of the next end step. Reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal that many creature cards. Put all creature cards revealed this way onto the battlefield. Then shuffle the rest of the revealed cards into your library. Really weird art on this card. It's very Phyrexian. What does that guy need 2 mouths for? You know? Ask your mother when you get a little older, alright kid? Now Divergent Transformation needs a little honorable mention here. It's 7 mana, but it's Undaunted. Costs 1 less to cast for each opponent. Exile 2 target creatures for each of those creatures. Its controller reveals cards from the top of their library until they reveal a creature card. Put that card onto the battlefield, shuffle the rest into their library. So you're going to hit your own 2 creatures with this thing, man. They don't have to be controlled by different players. This is a really cool one. I like it a lot. So what creatures are we slapping in here? This is a budget deck, but really you can do whatever you want with this. Like I said, the 2 Jin Gitaxiuses are really great, although they're a little pricey, maybe not going into this deck. If you get the Phyrexian language versions though, they're about $4 each, I believe. Alright, don't quote me on that. I'm not 100% sure, but I did look up the more recent Kamigawa version. Probably my favorite, coming in at 20 cents, is Ovika Enigma Goliath. 5 blue and a red, legendary creature, Phyrexian Nightmare. It's a 6/6, has flying, ward 3, pay 3 life. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create X 1/1 red Phyrexian Goblin creature tokens, where X is the mana value of that spell. They gain haste until end of turn. So this pays off the 14 sorceries, 27 instants, and 12 artifacts in this deck with more little goblin tokens. Such a sweet card, very underappreciated, and very cheap. And speaking of instants and sorceries, I love the Docent of Perfection. 28 cents. Make some wizards off of those instants and sorceries. It's also a beefy flyer. Our dude Saruman is a wizard, so cast something, have 3 wizards out, those 2 little tokens and Saruman, and then this gets beefier. And beefing up our wizard tokens and our commander, getting them ready to fight the good fight and gets those damn hobbits. Oh, hates those damn hobbits. Magnus the Red. Take a look at this guy. 3 blue and a red, legendary creature, Demon Primarch. It's a 4/5 with flying. Has unearthly power. Instant and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast for each creature token you control, and it has the Blade of Magnus. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, create a 3/3 red spawn creature token. Pretty formidable polymorph commander all by itself. This is such a great card when you're heavy into instants and sorceries. Also brings its own tokens. This guy came all the way from 40k to mess up those hobbits, man. Oh, hates them. Oh, hates the hobbits. And then we have the Tide Spout Tyrant Hullbreaker Horror. These add a great deal of control to the board, bouncing things left and right. There are infinite combos with these guys in Soul Ring and a 2-mana rock. Just continuously bounce everything with the Hullbreaker Horror. Aside from that though, we have a third of this deck below 3 mana. And I have Karavek the Merciless and Dragonlord Silumgar because I think they're fun, alright? And they're pretty cheap in real world money. We gotta spend that money before the hobbits take it, old man. We got to take it before Elon Musk Hobbit, and Mark Zucker Hobbit, and Jeff Bezos Hobbit, stealing all the money. I can't even afford me cards. And from there, it's control, cantrips, and card velocity. Cards that mess with our opponent's stuff, removal, interaction, whatever fun cards you want to stick in there. I will say that Mizzix's Mastery is only 85 cents and is really great in a deck where a full half of the cards can be popped out of the graveyard when you cast it for its overload cost. We also have some cards that can weaponize our tokens. Deadly Dispute, sack a creature, pay 2 mana, draw 2 cards, make a treasure. You get that army back in no time, brother. I have some theft-centered cards. Blue Sun's Twilight, so this is X blue. Gain control of target creature with mana value X or less. If X is 5 or more, create a token that's a copy of that creature. Just a great little card later in the game. Grab a big fatty and it just twilights with those twinkly vampires and hairless werewolves right onto your side of the board. Makes a token copy of itself. Because you know what, brother? Polymorph is fun. If you've never experienced it, I recommend grabbing a few friends, get in the hot tub, right? Transmogrify yourself into some damn bacteria soup. Never understood the appeal of hot tubs, other than the polymorph with your friends, And remember, if you see hobbits loitering about the area, call 911. Call Homeland Security, because they'll want to know about these hobbits invading the country, brother. Playtest the deck. Well worth the $50 for the sheer fun of the whole damn thing. Try it against your friends, alright? I'm losing my mind over here. Snicky G, signing off.